Hey, everybody, welcome back. And it appears we have a light issue. Anyway, we'll have to work on that. But the show's already gone. So I guess I'm going to be Mr. Blinky today. Anyway, the question is on new home sales. It appears everything is, like super slow, low. That's on a national level. That's really weird. But anyway, so here's the funny thing about this. It's kind of a mixed bag. And everything that we talk about when we look at the market itself with new construction versus old construction or existing or resale, depending on what you call it, we have a little bit of interesting activity that's going on. Kind of like this light that's hitting me. Anyway, with that, let's get the show on the road. Let's talk about what's going on and what's happening in June, since they keep talking about May. Hang on a second. All right. So funny enough, when we talk about new construction, again, that is different than resale. So as we take a look, it says new home sales slide to multi-year lows. Now, remember, that's new construction, not existing construction. New home sales are weakened further in May, extending pullback. New single-family homes fell to seasonally adjusted annual rate, down 7.3%. New single-family homes. That is different than resale homes, because here's the thing. While the chart is, possibly alarming for a lot of folks, look, new home sales data is notoriously choppy, and I 100% agree with that. Existing home sales run at an annual pace of about 4 million. Sales are just under 600,000. They've been trending modestly higher over the last few months. Now, that's super important to understand, because here's the thing. We're actually heading in an upward trend, even on a national level, for about 4% appreciation. We are seeing a little bit of that appreciation happening right now as the interest rates lower, as things kind of settle back out. Yes, most of March and May, because of what was going on in Iran, we had a little bit of slowdown, but it is definitely picking up, and you're going to see that here momentarily. So if we actually get back to here and we move over, look, new home slide, that's that one in the upper right. You can see situation normal, no change in rate over this last week, as far as on Friday when everything concluded. But mortgage applications, bottom left, actually picked up, and because we actually saw some of the lowest rates since about May 14th. And that is a big deal, because when we talk about Freddie, you can see how we went down, then we went up, then we came down, and it's bobbling. We've been slightly trending higher, but we're actually kind of leveling out. We're still about a quarter rate lower today than where we were at last year at this time. That's super important to understand, because as we're seeing the market move along for the summer, because post July 4th, we're going to see a significant increase in listings coming online, a lot of buyer activity as they get ready for school. Hey, we've already been out. We're starting to do our things. And I'm super sorry about that, like, so people are starting to adjust to the summer, and now we're going to start securing that home before snow flies. And so we will have a pretty aggressive market till about the middle end of August, when we hit Labor Day weekend, and then kids get back at school, people take last minute vacations, things like that. And that will have a big impact on what's going on with the market itself. Now, as we do this and as we see things moving forward, let's go over here. We take a look at what's going on. At days on market and percentage of list to sale price hasn't changed. It's been the same thing for the last 3 weeks, so no change at all. When we take a look at the running 7-day average, we had, again, a nice bolus of homes that came on market. 1,380 came on market. 1,137 went pended. Now, that is the first time we kind of saw that stay consistent all week, whereas normally we will see the new listings actually come back down, because Friday's a big list date. But 1,067 homes were reduced in price. Now, that's been kind of high for the last couple of weeks, and it is higher than we are used to seeing it. Normally, I'd see 800, 900 maybe. That's a little bit higher, not absolutely abnormal. Why? Well, again, sellers start making adjustments for the vacation trifecta, and we start to see some price softening during this time. The however is, we've seen multiple offers on many homes, this last week, and it's not uncommon as we start to see that pickup. All right. So as we come back through, remember, there's no marketing. So hit that bell and make sure you share it with a couple of people that you know. When we talk about what's going on residential. So here we go. Year to date, far right. Look, we're only 290 homes off from where we were at last year. And when we talk about pended, again, far right, 971 homes more pended than what we saw last year. Now, when we take a look at the center chart, we can see, look, we're at 3% when we talk about solds, more solds. And then, of course, our pended are also up. So we're seeing, again, that year over year positive trend happening, which is exactly what we're talking about. And let's delve into price here. So even though it shows that we're down 0.7, not even 1%, we're still $4,000 for the average sales price than last year. And then when we take a look at the chart on the right, year to date, look, we're only a $2,000 difference from where we're at, even though it says, we're, $11,000 off from, last year at this time. But we're $2,000 higher than where we were at last week, again, showing a more upward trend. When we take a look at new construction, which is what we started with, look, we have 68 more homes this year than we had last year. And, we're 5.4%. We're basically, if you want to consider it, about 26 more homes pended than where we were at last year at this time. So those numbers continue to improve. We're only 493 homes off as far as closed sales from where we were at last year. So that's 3/4 of Washington State. And so we're moving definitely in a more, again, flat as we've been for the last couple of years. The projection is, that we should see between 4 and 6% overall year over year appreciation, and we'll see if that actually happens. So when we take a look at pricing as far as average sold, again, we're up for the month of June, and we're up year to date as far as average sold price. Average list price is also up on new construction. So you can see clearly, we're seeing some positive signs, and as we continue to move in and through the summer, we are starting to see our market start to pick up. People are starting to acclimate to what's going on with some of our worldwide craziness. But do keep in mind, end of month is the best time for new construction. All right. Now, if you are going to get a loan, watch that free video, but only watch it if you're interested in making money. Why? Simple enough. It's 5 questions you got to ask when getting a mortgage loan. There's no cost. There's no marketing. There's no nothing. Watch it 4 or 5 times because it will help you. Now, when we talk about bank owned, some of the numbers look super crazy. Like, oh my gosh, our inventory is up 55%. It's 53 homes. That's been pretty consistent all year long. We've got 24 more homes more on market in June than we did last year at this time. 125 total all year long for 3/4 of Washington State, which is pretty small. We have 21 more sold, and naturally because we had more come on market. And of course, we're up 6 on pended. Everything else, is pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of activity in the REO world that is saying anything is, going to change or earth shatter. The one key thing that you need to understand about this, okay, is that divorces are number one default, and second mortgages are the ones that are seeing the highest number of defaults, not first mortgages. And a lot of that is because of inflation and everything else. In the meantime, if you have any questions, put them down below. We'd love to hear for what you have to say. Even if you have a comment about little Blinky over here. Anyway, it's going to be, it's a mixed bag out there. It was sunny this morning. Now it seems a little bit cloudy. Either way, have an absolutely fabulous weekend. Get out and take a look at some homes out there. Smash that subscribe button for us. and have yourself a beautiful day. In the meantime, have a great weekend and happy 4th of July. Take care.